What's up, man? Patrick James here, and this is a pretty exciting video because in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to get those more introverted girls to open up after you approach her, especially for those girls that give you 1 to 2 word responses and don't give you much to work with after you start the conversation with them. So if you've ever struggled with anything like that, then let's check out the question that got submitted to us via the email newsletter. By the way, if you're not on the email newsletter, what are you doing with your life, bro? For example, this is a newsletter that I sent out to my email list. And if you like the YouTube videos, then dude, you need to be on this email list because this stuff goes out way more consistently than I'm posting YouTube videos. I can just tell you that. YouTube is one of those things that we do for fun, and obviously a lot of guys get value out of it, and I enjoy doing it, but this is where the real magic happens. So if you're not on the email newsletter, I'll tell you at the end of the video how to get on the email newsletter so you're actually getting questions like this answered on a regular basis. But that said, we are also going to be putting a lot of YouTube videos out. So if you aren't already, subscribe to the Raw Dating Advice family on YouTube as well. So that said, this question came from a fan, a previous customer, a guy who actually has my book, and his name is Loic. And here's his question. He said, "Hey Patrick, Loic here, big fan. All your advice has me so much more confident, and it's only been a couple of weeks. I haven't even gotten through the book yet, but I'm already seeing results not only in the women I attract, but how attracted I am to myself." That sounded weird, but you get it. "Anyways, I'm constantly finding myself struggling around introverted girls. I feel like it always just ends up going into the interview mode, but I don't know what else to do when they refuse to come out of their shell, no matter how thickly I lay on the charm. What do you think about this? Loic." And Loic, thank you for the question, and thank you for taking action on this book. A lot of guys, they'll get the book, but they never even open the damn thing, and then they wonder why their dating life doesn't go anywhere. But anyways, if I'm getting this correct, you are meeting women, whether it's in social circle environment or like going out to bars and clubs and actually approaching these girls. It doesn't matter how you're meeting them, and I don't think you even said that, but when you meet them, you'll meet introverted girls, and you feel like these girls are hard to get them to break out of their shell. Well, here's the thing. How do you know she's introverted? Better yet, how do you even know if she's extroverted or not? All you really know is the 30 seconds that you got to talk to her, or maybe even the 5 minutes that you got to talk to her, and the conversation didn't go anywhere, and you tell yourself, well, it didn't go anywhere because she wasn't giving me much to work with. I was the one leading the conversation, which meant that I was asking interview mode, boring questions, and I'm just gonna assume that she's introverted because I don't understand why she wasn't opening up. Well, here's the thing, man. There's a lot of different things that goes into why a girl may or may not open up to you, but in this video, let's talk about the things that you and I can actually control moving forward. So one of the major things that I want you to understand is that you don't actually know if this girl is introverted or extroverted. And in fact, for you to even put her in one of those two boxes mentally, and that's how you frame this interaction, is that this girl is introverted, well, as a girl, she's following your lead because you're the guy, and that's just natural masculine, feminine energy. Feminine energy likes to follow the lead of the man here. And since you're the man in this interaction and you're clearly trying to create a vibe, a flirty interaction between you two, if she's following your lead and you see her as someone that's introverted, well, this is like deep psychology stuff, but your frame, if it's a strong frame and you truly believe this to be a fact, well, as soon as her subconscious can tell that you see her as an introverted person, she's going to start acting more introverted around you. And you've probably experienced this yourself too, because I'm sure that there's groups of people or certain times that you feel like you're very outgoing and your charisma is on point, the witty banter is just flowing, and you're in a good flow state socially. But on the flip side, there's other times or maybe other groups of people that when you're around them, you're more quiet, you're more shy, you're more reserved, you think before you speak. What's the difference there? Did you physically change? Did your mentality or your identity as introverted, extroverted, or both change? Obviously no. The only thing that changed was how the people around you viewed you as a person, what their impression of you was. And this is some deep psychology stuff, and I actually talk about this in the obsession section of this book. But anyways, dude, how you view people, if that's your frame and they can tell that that's your frame, they're going to start acting from that frame as well, especially if she's following your lead like any girl would in a seduction. So first thing is, I would tell you to drop the label of introverted, extroverted. She didn't open up to me because she's really introverted, she's really shy. Fuck that. Let's start accepting the fact that maybe you can be a better conversationalist. Maybe you can change your frame here. And another part of your question that I want to ask you, or that I want to bring up, is that you say the conversation always ends up going into interview mode when you can tell that she's introverted. And you also say that no matter how thickly you lay on the charm, it doesn't really go anywhere. And that kind of tells me that subconsciously you probably also feel that for you to attract a girl, you also have to lay on the charm. In other words, you have to do something to get the result of attraction. Well, what does that actually imply if you think about that? Think about the mentality of where you're coming from. If you feel like you have to do something to put yourself in a place to where she sees you as attractive, and I only put it in this kind of a metaphor because women are not gonna have sex with or be attracted to a guy who she sees as lower on the social totem pole than her. And social totem pole really means a lot of different things depending on her preferences and the types of people that she likes to hang around. But in the social totem pole, in the way that she views the world, if she sees you as below her, it's gonna be hard for her to feel attraction for you. And so inherently, if you think that you're starting at a deficit, and for you to at least be on her level to where she can be attracted to you, you believe that you have to do something, you have to quote unquote lay on the charm thickly for her to be attracted to you, especially if she's introverted, then you can see that you're already putting yourself as a deficit. What if you just dropped this hierarchy that doesn't even exist? It's all in your own head. What if you just drop that all together? You drop the labels of she's introverted, she's extroverted, and you accepted the fact that just like you are different ways around different types of people or different situations and scenarios, she's the exact same way. At the end of the day, we're all humans here. So the first thing that you got to do to overcome this is actually admit to yourself that no matter who she is, she's going to be introverted at times, she's going to be extroverted at times, and around different people. But I promise you, the people that she's extroverted and outgoing around are probably people she knows very well, her family or close friends, maybe previous boyfriends, maybe co-workers, right? So what's the difference between all those people and you? The only difference is that she knows, likes, and trusts them. So don't blame it on the fact that she's introverted. Therefore, you have to lay on the charm even harder just so she'll be attracted to you and open up to you. Why don't you just try to ask yourself, how can I come across as a normal fucking person here who's more trustworthy, so that way she can actually know, like, and trust me in this moment enough to open up and actually start investing into the conversation. It's a subtle mental shift, but it could make all the difference. And secondly, what if instead of thinking that you have to lay on the charm thickly for her to be attracted to you, especially if she's introverted, what if you just automatically assumed that because you work on yourself, because you take action, because you watch videos like this and you're constantly course correcting as you go and as you move forward, well, what if you just believe that every girl, because you're ambitious, because you're the guy who's into personal development, because you're always improving yourself, because you work out, because you do all these different things that are valuable traits in people, that she's already attracted to you, even if she doesn't know it yet? All she has to do to be attracted to you is experience your presence, experience your nonchalance, experience your light and playful and sometimes challenging and cocky demeanor. Well, in that case, now you're not coming from a deficit. You're coming from up here and you're saying, hey girl, I'm up here, can you join me up here? And even if you don't know me yet, I'm gonna show you that I actually am up here, right? Even though this is a hierarchy that doesn't exist, now you're no longer placing yourself at a deficit. You're putting yourself up here and you're naturally doing all the attractive behaviors that you're working on all the time that you know are going to attract her in the long run, right? That right there is a subtle change, and I promise you, if you start thinking like this and you start understanding that women have different sides of their personality. Sometimes they're naughty, sometimes they're outgoing, sometimes they're shy and introverted. It really just depends on, does she know, like, or trust you in the moment? And do you frame yourself as a guy who's already attractive and you're challenging her to meet you up here rather than you starting and trying to qualify yourself by doing these attraction building techniques just to put yourself on her level? Subtle difference, but it'll make all the difference. And I know as soon as you take action on this, you're gonna knock it out of the park, man. So hopefully that answered your question, Loic, and hopefully any of the other guys watching this, you got some value out of this as well. Now, real quick, I do have a quick announcement, and the announcement I have for you is that I just started a live monthly group coaching community that I want you to be a part of, and it's called Legendary Games. So basically, one of the problems that I've seen with a lot of guys who are taking action and improving their ability to meet, attract, and seduce women, especially the quality women, on a consistent basis, is they don't know where to start. Maybe they'll see all these YouTube videos, or maybe they'll see all these courses or books that you can get, and they don't know where to start. They don't know what to focus on, and they get information overwhelmed. And that leads to them feeling overwhelmed and giving up before they even get started, or they try to do do too much at once, and because they're doing too much at once, the results don't actually flourish, because it's like you trying to slam dunk a basketball if you don't even know how to dribble the damn thing, and that also causes guys to get discouraged and give up. So in my monthly coaching group, not only are you getting live group coaching with me and the other Legendary Game members, which is a small private group anyways, you're gonna get monthly coaching with me every single month, as well as weekly action steps to help you develop Legendary Game, so that way you can meet, attract, and seduce any woman that catches your eye, especially the quality women, anywhere in the world. And I'm gonna develop your game from the ground up, so no matter how much experience you have right now, you're gonna start getting results from the very first week you're in here. So if you wanna join us, I'm only gonna keep this open until our next coaching call, which is actually this weekend. And so I don't know when you're seeing this video, but if you wanna join my monthly coaching group, Legendary Game, all you gotta do is go to legendarygamesystem.com. And especially if you've already got this book, then it's definitely going to help you and complement everything that you've learned in this book as well. So on that note, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'll see you later. Peace out.